Greetings, I'm Dasha. This video is about the simple explanation of healthy eating and how to make the change. In the material world, energy comes from the sun. Sunlight hits the leaves of plants, and that is where healthy eating starts, with the leaves of the plants. All protein on this planet is made in the leaves. Per calorie, leaves have the highest percentage of protein. Animals only rearrange the protein that they take in that originates from the leaves. As far as the plant goes, the leaf's function is to gather energy, ultimately for the plant's reproduction via the seeds. The further along in its life cycle that the plant develops, the more calories are concentrated in its new reproductive parts, and the lower the nutrient density becomes in each succeeding part. Highest nutrient density, in other words, the highest nutrient per calorie, not nutrients per gram or per serving size, but per calorie, is desired. In this technologically advanced age, availability of too high calorie-dense foods is widespread, where our bodies are not accustomed to a steady diet of these high calorie-dense foods. And whether one is fat or thin on the outside, one can, in effect, be fat on the inside, especially on the inside of the blood vessels. By nature's arrangement, the healthiness of food via nutrient density begins at its highest point with the leaf, and then healthiness decreases through the remainder of the plant's life cycle as it gathers more and more calorie density. What appears in the plant life cycle after the leaf? That would be the bud of the flower, such as broccoli, artichoke, and cauliflower. Then the flower blooms into petals, where, for example, rose petals are edible and healthy food, although generally people aren't eating so many actual flowers, especially in the technologically advanced countries. But the flower produces the fruit, including vegetable fruits like green beans, okra, eggplant, cucumber, and so forth. And then also, of course, there are all the regular sweet fruits. The fruits contain and produce the seeds. Grains are simply grass seeds. Further down the line, having less and less nutrient per calorie density, the grazing animals eat the grass seeds and produce muscle, bone, gristle, brains, tongues, and blood, most of which doesn't even sound appetizing. As far as your healthy blood vessels go, animal products in the modern age of easy availability are stone-cold killers, what to speak of the mass imprisonment and killing of the animals. So there is the progression of healthy eating, from leaf to bud to flower to fruit and to seed. Other than whole food, natural plant parts, fractionated, concentrated plant foods, and all animal-sourced foods produce early and chronic debilitating diseases. The way to make the first big change in improving your diet and health is to have a little sympathy for the poor, docile grazing animals and to stop killing and eating them, including stealing chickens' eggs, and in the case of cows, their milk, which belongs to their babies. The second big change is to substitute high-taste, oily whole spices like cumin, coriander, sesame seeds, etc., in all cooked and baked preparations in place of all separated oils, including canola and olive oil. Contrary to the thought that you need to eat separated oils to grease your joints, separated oil simply clogs your blood vessels and even your individual cells, causing, in the case of clogged blood vessels, all the cardiovascular diseases like heart attack, stroke, and Alzheimer's. And in the case of oil-clogged individual body cells, that is the cause of diabetes. Sugar is not the cause of diabetes. Sugar malprocessing is the cumulative effect of eating separated oil and calorie-dense animal foods. In other words, diabetes is not caused by sugar, but is caused by concentrated oils and animal products. So, in summary, healthiness begins highest with the leaf and follows downward the life cycle of the plant, and then goes negative with processed foods and all animal products. Permanent change is effected by having sympathy and a non-intervention policy for the poor grazing animals, and including fish, and by replacing separated oils in cooking with high taste, whole and ground whole, oily seed spices in cooking and baking. Now, all this type of eating still involves disturbing and killing plants. And the best we can do is to prepare the plants as humble offerings for the Lord with love and devotion for the Lord's pleasure, not for our sense enjoyment. Offerings of foodstuffs to the Lord are temporary reprieves from the penalty for sin. Our death is the only possible permanent cessation of our sins of disturbing and killing and eating other entities that value their own lives as much as we value ours. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, give a thumbs up, and make a positive comment. Until next time, may God show you absolute truth and supreme beauty. Muchísimas gracias.